I get it. You've probably spent hours scrolling through endless Amazon listings, watching videos that showcase sleek devices, only to end up with something that looks great on the box but falls short when you actually plug it in. The last thing you want is to buy a UPS and find out that it won't hold up long enough for a power outage, or that the outlets are a confusing mess. That hesitation is real, and it's why I'm here to walk you through the CyberPower OL1K5RM Essential Online UPS so you can decide if it truly fits your needs before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about why a UPS matters in the everyday scenario most of us face. Imagine you're running a home office with a desktop, a few monitors, a NAS for backups, and maybe a router that keeps your video calls alive. The power isn't always reliable, especially in the spring when storms roll through. A brief flicker can corrupt files, shut down an unsaved document, or, in the worst case, fry the PSU of a high-end PC. A good UPS gives you the breathing room to either finish what you're doing or shut down cleanly. That's the promise behind any online UPS continuous double conversion that ensures the output is always clean Sinewave power. The CyberPower OL1K5RM claims exactly that, and the question is whether it delivers what you need in a real home or small business environment. The online label is a key differentiator. Most budget UPS units are offline or line interactive, meaning they only switch to battery when they detect a voltage dip. An online UPS like this one constantly runs the power through its inverter, so you get a pure Sinewave output that mimics the quality of a lab power supply. For sensitive equipment, high-end graphics workstations, network storage, or medical devices, that constant conditioning can be a lifesaver. If you're just protecting a cheap router, a line interactive model might be enough, but the OL1K5RM is built for the kind of gear that reacts badly to even minor spikes. Now, let's break down the practical strengths you'll feel once the unit is installed. The 1500 VA/1200W rating tells you it can handle a decent load. In practice, you can comfortably plug a mid-range desktop, around 400500W, 2 monitors, each roughly 3040W, a small NAS, about 50W, and a router into its 8 outlets without tripping the internal breaker. The fact that the devices are all powered through double conversion means they never see the raw utility edge, which translates into less heat and longer component life. A lot of reviewers mention that they could run a brief 5-minute backup during a typical neighborhood outage, and the system gave them exactly that window, enough time to close applications and shut down safely. Another practical win is the LCD panel. Compared to a series of flashing LEDs, the screen actually displays real-time input voltage, battery charge, and load percentage. When you're in the middle of an important presentation or recording session, you can glance at the display to see that you're still drawing only 30% of the UPS's capacity, giving you peace of mind that the battery isn't being drained too fast. The panel also lets you select the output voltage, which is handy if you've got equipment that prefers 115V or 230V in mixed region setup, something you rarely see on cheaper units. The Rackmount form factor is a subtle but important feature. If you're running a small server rack in a closet or a professional studio, the ability to slide the UPS into the same rack saves floor space and keeps cable management tidy. The mounting brackets are straightforward. You just bolt the unit into a standard 19-inch rack, and you're done. This eliminates the need for a separate floor-standing UPS that would otherwise hog a valuable spot. On the flip side, there are trade-offs that matter when you look at the day-to-day experience. The first practical weakness is noise. Because an online UPS runs the inverter continuously, it generates a hum that is louder than most line interactive models. In a quiet workspace, you'll notice a low-grade whine coming from the unit, nothing catastrophic, but if you're recording voiceovers or need an especially silent environment, you might need to place the UPS on a shelf away from microphones. Some users have reported that the fan noise ramps up after a while, especially when the unit runs close to its capacity. Keeping the load under 60% of the rated wattage not only extends battery life but also reduces the fan's effort. Battery runtime is another realistic limitation. The built-in battery is sized to give you enough time for a graceful shutdown, not to keep a server humming for an hour. If you're looking for an uninterrupted power supply that can keep a workstation running for extended periods during a prolonged outage, you'll need to add external battery packs or consider a larger unit. The OL1K5RM offers an EBM option, which allows you to connect extra battery modules, but those are sold separately and add to the overall cost. In short, if you expect